Black holes are arguably the most mysterious objects in the universe. These strange regions of space distort our understanding of physics and reality itself. So let's dive in and learn some amazing facts about them. Here are 5 amazing facts about black holes and what happens if you fall in. Number 1. Black holes stretch you like spaghetti. Ever accidentally looked through the wrong end of the telescope? Astronomers did it recently. They pointed the wrong telescope at the wrong thing. They saw a galaxy that was extremely bright. It turns out it was a black hole. And while they were looking at it through the wrong telescope, they couldn't tell how big it was. All they knew was that it was consuming dust and gas from its host galaxy. But every so often, scientists had a chance to look through the right telescope at the right thing. This means they saw not only the bright light coming from the galaxy being consumed, but also the star being pulled in by the black hole. That meant they could calculate how fast the star was moving, and thus how strong the black hole's gravity was. The researchers used that data and built models of how these stars would move if the galaxy was wrapped around the black hole. Turns out the black hole is 85,000 light years away and has a mass 65 billion times bigger than our sun. Not only does it sit at the center of its own galaxy, but it consumes around 1,000 stars per year. And in the next few million years, it will consume our galaxy as well. Now, what happens if you fell into a black hole that devours 1,000 stars per year? Well, first off, the intense gravity would pull your body into a long, thin noodle. Scientists call this spaghettification. Sounds silly, but it's terrifyingly real. As you approach the event horizon or point of no return, the gravity would literally stretch you out like spaghetti. Now, assuming you're still somewhat intact, you wouldn't be for long. The tidal forces near a black hole are unimaginably strong. One part of your body would experience far more gravitational pull than the other, stretching you even further until your atoms are ripped apart. And finally, you'd be completely crushed by the immense pressure and heat at the center of the black hole. Which brings us to the next fact. Number 2, time slows down near them. Black holes mess with time. Here's what happens. Space-time near a black hole moves slower than the rest of the universe. This means if you were close to a black hole, you would witness time passing much slower than someone far away from the black hole. For example, if you were close to a black hole and someone far away dropped a ball, you would see the ball falling very slowly. This is due to the intense gravity near the black hole, which distorts. The closer you get to a black hole, the slower time moves. This effect is so extreme that if you were close enough to a black hole, you could witness thousands of years pass by while only minutes pass for you. In other words, the closer you get to a black hole, the slower time goes. If you fell into one, you'd feel like time was speeding up as you approached the event horizon, and it would suddenly stop when you crossed the point of no return. To someone watching you fall into a black hole, it would appear as though you were slowing down and eventually freezing in time. This is because the light from your body would be so stretched out that it would become invisible. If you fell into a black hole and survived somehow, you'd be frozen in time forever. So far, we haven't found any time travelers yet, but if we did, we know they'd come from a black hole. Number 3, they can be bigger than entire solar systems. Most people think of black holes as small, dark dots in space. But the truth is they can be bigger than entire solar systems. Let's take our solar system for example. Our sun is relatively average in size and mass compared to other stars. There are many stars out there that are much bigger and heavier than our sun. And some of these stars have multiple times the mass of our sun. Imagine a star that's 20 times heavier than our sun. If it collapses at the end of its life cycle, it would form a black hole. That black hole would have a diameter large enough to swallow up our entire solar system. Not only are these giant black holes more massive, but they also have stronger gravity. This means that they can suck in more matter and energy, growing even larger. In fact, some black holes are believed to have a mass of millions or even billions of times the mass of our sun. But here's the scary part. These supermassive black holes don't just sit in one place. They can move around, and they often have planets and other objects orbiting around them. So if one of these giant black holes were to come hurtling towards our solar system, there would be absolutely nothing we could do to stop it. We'd all be consumed by the massive gravity and pulled into the abyss. Just the thought of this happening is enough to send shivers down my spine. Number 4, they're invisible, but we can still see them. Black holes are invisible. We can't see them directly, but we can detect their presence through their gravitational pull on nearby stars and glowing gas. By observing how stars move around a black hole and analyzing the light that passes through the hot gas around them, we can learn a lot about these mysterious objects without ever seeing them directly. In 2019, for example, astronomers captured the first ever image of a black hole. The photo shows a bright ring of light surrounding a dark central region. The light in the ring is emitted by gas and dust that's heated to extremely high temperatures by the black hole's gravity. By studying the color and brightness of the ring, astronomers can learn more about the black hole's size and mass. Another way we can detect black holes is by listening for the sound they make as they consume matter. When a black hole eats up gas and dust, it produces a low-frequency noise that can be detected by special instruments on Earth. By analyzing these sounds, scientists can learn more about the structure of the black hole and its surroundings. So although we can't see black holes directly, we have developed some pretty cool ways to detect them and learn more about them. Number 5, they can collide and shake the universe. Black holes are invisible, but their collisions can shake the universe. When two black holes merge, they release an incredible amount of energy in the form of gravitational waves. These waves ripple through space-time, carrying with them a small but measurable signal that can be detected by instruments on Earth. For example, in 2015, the LIGO scientific collaboration announced the first ever detection of gravitational waves. The waves were produced by the merger of two black holes that were 1.3 billion light-years away. The signal was so clear that it confirmed Einstein's prediction of gravitational waves made almost a century earlier. Since then, we've detected many more gravitational wave signals from merging black holes, and each one provides us with valuable information about these mysterious objects. The collisions themselves are also truly two giant black holes spiraling around each other and releasing enormous amounts of energy is a truly spectacular sight. And although we can't see these collisions directly, the gravitational waves they produce give us a small glimpse into the incredible power of black holes. Now that we know some amazing facts about black holes, let's talk about what happens if you fall into one. If you fell into a black hole, you wouldn't fall forever. Instead, you'd eventually reach a point called the singularity. This is the center of the black hole where gravity is so strong that nothing, not even light, can escape. Once you cross the event horizon, there'd be no turning back. You wouldn't be able to see anything beyond the black hole's surface, and you wouldn't be able to communicate with anyone outside of it. Eventually, you'd be pulled into the singularity and crushed into a pancake. It would be a pretty quick death, but definitely not a pleasant one. So if you're anywhere near a black hole, watch your step because now let's imagine you're an astronaut who accidentally fell into a black hole while exploring deep space. Here's what would happen to you. Number 1, first you approach the event horizon. As you approach the event horizon, the gravity would increase dramatically. The air around you would become thin, and it would be hard to breathe. You'd see the stars around you begin to distort and stretch. At this point, you'd know that there's no escape. You're committed to crossing the event horizon and entering the black hole. Number 2, you feel gravity getting stronger. As you get closer and closer to the event horizon, the gravity would continue to increase until it was thousands, maybe even millions times greater than the Earth's gravity. You'd feel yourself being pulled towards the black hole like a magnet. Your spaceship would be under immense pressure, and it might start to crack and leak. Number 3, spaghettification begins. At this point, the tidal forces near the black hole would start to rip your body apart. The gravity would be so strong that it would stretch you out into a long, thin noodle. Your arms and legs would be pulled the furthest, but your torso would remain relatively close to the black hole. You wouldn't be able to do anything at this point. You'd be completely helpless as you're stretched out and torn apart by the immense gravity. Number 4, to the outside world. You freeze. From the perspective of someone watching you fall into the black hole, you would appear to be slowing down as you approach the event horizon. The light from your body would also be red-shifted, meaning it would appear more red than blue. This is because the light waves are stretched out as they move away from the black hole. Eventually, you would appear to freeze completely as you reach the event horizon. From this perspective, it would seem as if you've stopped moving entirely and are stuck on the edge of the black hole. Number 5, you hit the singularity. After crossing the event horizon, you'd continue to fall towards the singularity. The gravity would continue to increase until it was so strong that it crushed you into a pancake. You wouldn't be able to survive this, and your body would be completely destroyed. The singularity is a point of infinite density, and it's a place where the laws of physics, as we know them, break down. No one knows exactly what happens at the singularity, but it's safe to say that it's not a pleasant place to be. So if you ever find yourself falling into a black hole, you should consider yourself lucky that you experienced something so amazing before you were torn apart and crushed to death. But now it's time for you to speak up. Have you ever wanted to fall into a black hole? Share your thoughts. And a reminder for you to like, share, and subscribe to FactNest to know more unknown facts.